ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Hope you all remember the meaning of this Sahana Vavatu. The subject for today's satsang is nothing happens without God's will. Often it is known and observed that Sai devotees are more inclined towards experiences with Swami, experiences of Swami. So, this satsang, unique satsang, starts and moves along with few experiences, culminating in an incredible experience of students, and then ending with his own experience. On what? To prove each experience, to prove that nothing happens without Sai's will. Right? This is from a student's blog. The article title itself is Where There Is a Will, There Is a Way. And this is written by an ex-student of Swami, Vipin Prabhakar. Now let's hear to what he wrote. Swami always says that unless God wills, nothing can happen. It was at the age of 7 when, after an entrance exam and an interview, I was chosen for the 3rd standard in the Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vihar OT. My parents had neither seen Swami before nor had even heard of him. It came as a surprise for my family that though I had taken the examination in Puttaparthi, I was selected for the OT school. My father was not particularly comfortable about admitting me into a school in OT. But God willed it, and both of us left for OT. In the year 1990, it was decided to close down the OT school, and all of us were transferred to Parthi. After completing my 10th standard, though I was interested in the science group, I was picked for the commerce group. Again, There was a debate in the house as my family was not very keen on my pursuing commerce course. But again, he willed it. And I went on to complete my Bachelor of Commerce, Honors, from Brindavan campus, and then MBA from Puttaparthi. After completing my MBA in 2002, I was going to take my first step into the competitive world of business. The competition was fierce, and fear of unemployment loomed large. But then I knew he was always there with me. It is a well known fact that it is not easy to get a first rate job in the public sector of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. HAL had posted their advertisement in the month of June in all the leading newspapers on the internet. Then he applies. We are cutting short wherever possible. To his disappointment, his name is not appearing, shortlisted for the entrance exam. And then a week before the exam, I received, now his wordings, I received my call card through the post. This was nothing short of a miracle. It was the most pleasant surprise of my life, and my joy knew no bounds. But my preparations for the exams were nil. I came to Parthi, took Bhagwan's blessings, and took the examination in Bangalore. 2 months went by, but there was no response from HAL. All of a sudden, in September, I got a call for interview. I went for the interview fully prepared in all areas of materials, management, and finance. However, this is his will. To my utter surprise, all the members of the interview panel only asked me questions about Swami. All of them were impressed with my answers. Swami was in Bangalore then, and at the end of the interview, they asked me for the darshan timings and about the best route to reach Vrindavan. The rest is history. I was one of the 15 candidates selected. There was no interview question asked. All that was discussed was about Swami. After a year of training in Bangalore, in January 2004, I was posted in my hometown, Hyderabad. HAL Hyderabad consists of around 3,000 employees. During my first month, I was on job rotation in all the departments. Apart from work, everyone had questions to ask about Swami. By the end of the month, I did not know if I had been able to spread Swami's message adequately. But I knew that many people had sent in applications for admitting their children to school in Puttaparthi. Later that year, when I came to Prashanti Nilayam for Swami's darshan, I met several of my co-workers who had come to see him for the first time. But as every coin has two sides, there were also a handful of colleagues who criticized Swami. Whenever I came across these people, I would only say, I am not telling you to believe that he is God or to start worshipping him. I'm only informing you about the amount of service he has been doing for the humanity. A free world-class hospital for the poor, premier education from KG to PG, clean drinking water for the poorest villages. Tell me any other individual or government agency which has accomplished anything even close to this. If at the minimum we try to walk in his footsteps, the world would definitely be a better place to live in. Slowly, word spread in the company that a Sai student had joined HAL Hyderabad. And now it was our executive director himself who called me for an informal discussion about Swami. The following week, the executive director visited Shiva, Sai Center in Hyderabad, and also bought some books on Bhagavan Baba. We were coming to the end of the financial year 2004-2005, and our production seemed nowhere close to our target goals. One night, at around 11 p.m., when I was asleep, the executive director rang me up. He sounded perturbed. Perturbed. He asked me, "Can't Swami do something? Why don't you pray?" I replied, "Swami always says, Karmanyevadikarsте me ma phaleshu kadachina. Act and don't think about the fruits." Though I could not convince him with that reply, I satisfied himself by saying that I would pray. This material target, however, was never in my daily prayers. But then, to the utter surprise of the entire division of HAL as a whole, all the material required for the production started pouring in from our suppliers, and the employees worked 3 shifts. And today, HAL Hyderabad has exceeded its target by a significant margin. Vipin ends this article with this line: "Truly, anything is possible when he wills it." Or can we reword it and say, nothing happens without his will? Next episode. This is given by an unknown writer. He has given from Double H, New York. Are you writing a drama? Swami asked me in September 1996. When I answered yes, he then talked about Surya, one of the students whom I had brought to the summer course the previous year. Very good actor, very good singer, Swami said. Those words were tantamount to a command. After the process of writing, casting, and producing a drama for Bhagavan's 71st birthday, a process complete with Sai Leelas to remind us that he is in complete command in all ways and always. All ways and always. With the help of Johnston in New York, we began the necessary research and writing for the play that was entitled Abraham Lincoln, the Dramatic Leader. The 2 principal characters were cast in California, but it was more difficult to fill the similar roles. I phoned a Sai friend in Connecticut to find out who was going to India for his birthday. While talking, I had a sudden and strong thought to ask if her husband, who had never been to India, would be interested in playing the role. Kurt, that is the gentleman's name. Kurt has never been on stage before and he has never been to India, she said. He has promised me that one day he will go with me. It is my deepest prayer that he comes, but this is a short notice and his company is very busy. I will certainly ask and let you know, but it is very unlikely. 15 minutes later, I received a phone call. I was breathless with the other gentleman, sorry, not this HH, but the other gentleman, husband of that lady, was breathless with excitement. Sorry, the lady is saying, the lady's name is Bitsy. Bitsy was breathless with excitement. He says, yes, and I can't believe it. He will call you tomorrow morning from the office to get more information. I can't believe it. Then this HH writes, my prayers are answered. How wonderful. The following morning, Kurt, the gentleman, the lady's husband, phoned. I have never been on a stage before. What part should I play? He asked. I told him our drama was on Abraham Lincoln and he would be a member of the Lincoln's cabinet. William shivered. Oh, Kurt said, and he passed. I have written my thesis on, still sure. It was clearly a divine intervention wrapped in his Leela. Others were to follow. The play has been cast, but a large backdrop had to be created for the Purnachandra stage. In reply to an announcement made at the two local Sai centers, 6 artists came forth to offer their help. Splendid work it was too. It was an example of working together in high spirits and happy harmony. The team soon agreed on a theme and on appropriate colors to be used. Okay, moving on. The backdrop was provided somehow by a designer and he offered it free. Then they needed some paint, and shortly after, somehow miraculously, the paint arrived, and then another phone call. The name of the paint manufacturers is Murali. Is it not that wonderful? With the ego free pooling of creating energy, artistic temperament was centered on the unity that comes from the loving service to Sai. The names of Rama, Krishna, and Sai were present, and the product and the Leelas were memorably beautiful. Although there was little rehearsal time, the play went on well, and the experience of the 71st birthday was perfect. Upon return to the United States, 4 of the players who lived in Connecticut felt guided to open a new Sai center in their area. This is how now happily function as a successful effect of the Lincoln drama. Nothing happens without his will, and what grace to be permitted the opportunity to be his instruments. H.H. New York. Swami Vivekananda writes, nothing can happen without the will of God. Not even a blade of grass can move. When a man passes into a favorable time, he gets the desire to contemplate on God. But when the time is unfavorable, he gets all the facilities for doing evil actions. Everything happens in time according to the will of God. It is God alone who expresses his will through the actions of man. There is another interesting episode about Shiva and Parvati. If time permits, we will come to it later on. From Swami's discourse. Another story from Swami's discourse. Once upon a time, it's a very on a lighter note, but anyhow, it captures the will of God. Once upon a time, there was a king in India. He had a minister who had great faith in God and would always say that whatever happens, happens for the good. The king never believed this. Once the king cut his finger, and as usual, the minister said that all happens for good. Hearing this, the king got quite angry and put the minister into prison. Even then, the minister said that everything happens for the good and everything happens with the will of God. A few days later, the king went hunting in the jungle. Swami is writing this by himself since the minister was in prison. As the king was hunting, some tribesmen trapped him and took him to their place. But when the tribe's king leader saw the cut on the king's finger, he orders the king to be released, saying that a person with a cut finger would not make a good offering to the tribe's deity. Actually, he was to be offered flesh and blood. Happy due to the narrow escape from death, the king returned to the kingdom, remembering his wise minister's words that even the finger getting cut was for the good. Upon his return, He immediately ordered the minister's release and welcomed him back in the position as the royal minister. The king said to the minister, I now believe that everything happens for our good, as my life was saved because of the cut finger. But what about you? How can you explain that it was good for you? The minister replied, Swami writes, as you had put me in prison, I was not able to accompany you on your hunting trip. If I had been there with you, the tribesman would have taken me along with you and would have definitely sacrificed me because I do not have a cut finger. The king was pleased with the minister's reply, and from then on, always consulted the vice minister while making any decisions for his subjects. The moral, great faith like ministers is needed to understand the truth that everything happens as per God's will. Regular spiritual practice, such as repeating God's name, is a sure way to develop such faith. Divine Discourse, 17th October 1961. Connecting with Sai, various techniques we learned, right, on the 1st January. First was bringing Sai in front of us or any chosen God, your chosen God in front of you at your workplace, at home, anywhere, once in 1 hour. And then gradually reducing it to once in 45 minutes, once in half an hour, once in 15 minutes, and then forever and eternity. You keep communicating with your God while the work goes on. Your thoughts can never go wrong. You can never be affected by raga dvesha. You can never be affected by vasanas when Sai is with you. We also dealt with Sai as his true companion several years before in the center. If anyone remembers, we started with the definition of friendship as per Sai. Now we move on to the next incident. Swami got the college building constructed and instructed the same engineer to come up with a proposal for a hostel building also. Colonel Jogarao, maybe you all might not have seen him, a very hefty figure, always in half safari. He had the privilege, only 2, 3 had the privilege for their car to come up to the front queue gate, straight facing Mandir, and he had the privilege of getting down from there and coming inside. A very hefty figure, Colonel Jogarao. Since he has been doing duty from 80s, he knows almost all of them by face. That is also Swami's way. Colonel Jogarao, now onwards we will say as Jogarao, implicitly obeyed the instructions and drew up all the plans for the construction of the hostel building. The shed in which boys were staying was too small, and right next to it was a huge water tank. The only possible place where the hostel could be constructed was in an empty plot of land adjacent to the new college building. Having made all the plans, he approached Swami and sought a date for the laying of the foundation stone. The evening before the actual groundbreaking ceremony could take place, Swami arrived at the shed where the boys were staying. He informed them about a new hostel coming up with all the comforts and conveniences. There would now be ample space to stay for each student. One of the boys promptly wrote a letter to Swami, pouring out his heart. Swami accepted the letter from him, and even as he read it, he looked at the boy and asked him, "Shall I read out this letter to the boys assembled here?" "Swami, it is your wish." And so Bhagavan reads out the letter. The spirit of the letter is outlined below. "Swami, we do not want any new hostel. We can always adjust in this space as long as we are assured of proximity to it. If we go to a new hostel, we would be far away from Swami's home. We just do not want to go away from Swami. If Swami is so particular about the new hostel building planned next to the college, then Swami should have a new home constructed right next to the proposed new hostel. There, that huge water tank is standing. Swami looked at the principal, Sri Narendra, and asked him what he thought about the letter. Principal replied that Swami knows the hearts of the boys. They had left their parents, had come only to be with Swami. A decision was then made on the spot. Swami sent for Jogarao. He then asked him, "Jogarao, the boys want to stay near to Swami. They do not want to go away. Can the new hostel be built next to the mandir here?" He's an engineer profession, master's in engineering by profession. In those years, he's talking about late 70s. "This is impossible, Swami. There is a huge ground tank here. How can we build anything there?" God, allergic to the word impossible, merely smiles at those who use it. Swami simply said that a hostel could easily be built in place of the tank that existed there. He then became the engineer of engineers. He then went on to explain to an amazed Jogara as to how the construction should proceed. And today, the hostel stands over the same land where a huge tank existed. And Swami had visited the boys at the Brindavan hostel a number of times. This beautiful Swami often acts as if he is innocent, he doesn't know anything. Devotee, where are you? What's your name? As if he doesn't. Where are you from? Swami so and so. Then Swami will bend as if he is not hearing. Drama. Leela Dhari. He will bend down and say, "Ah, where? Ah, okay, okay." He will listen to all those things as if he doesn't know. Here he changed the layout and the design of the expert engineer. Jogara was a very respected engineer in those days. He changes the plan, and the other day we learned that he changes the note of Sonam from minor to major, from Madhyam to Pancham. अरे ऋषभ कोमल क्यों गा रहा है? ऋषभ शुद्ध गाओ. The ragas originate from him. The creation originates from him. Every skill of everyone in the world originate from him. Yet, for the sake of satisfaction to the devotees, he asks about their whereabouts, their family details, their name, their degree, what they are doing, and all these things innocently because it gives them satisfaction. And he takes all the letters, and if on a day 200 letters are there, he reads all the 200 letters. Parabrahman, he knows what is written in each letter. But having descended with physical form as God, moving around us, he reads. Sundar and so many people who have been inside serving Swami's room are witness to that. He reads all letters. The devotees may not even know that he is reading or not reading, but he says, they have believed me and given me the letter, so I should read the letters. And sometimes he wills and his reply gets written on the letter, and when the next darshan, he throws that letter to the devotee with the answer in it. Which incarnation, which God can be sweeter than our Sai? Sweeter than the sweetest Sai. On 23rd November 1980, 55th birthday, Swami writes, these are all milestone discourse speeches of Swami recorded, and background Dr. Kanwar from Delhi. He has spoken these Swami's words, and they were available once upon a time as pre-recorded cassettes. And we crazily used to hear all those cassettes in those days. Cassettes were available only in two places in Puttaparthi. One inside the stores, inside the ashram, where the South Prashanti, and now when we go from the backside Ganesha shade up to the stores, when we walk, there behind the Sarvadharma Stupa, there were few sheds. Only there, Swami's photographs, Swami's Vibhuti, and the cassettes, pre-recorded cassettes with original soundtrack. Outside, near the post office used to be there opposite Ishwarama Samadhi. There, one Naidu used to be there. Now his son is there. He is in some other shop. His shop is relocated now. There, Naidu used to sell. I'm talking about 80s. He used to sell songs of Sonam. Sonam used to sing 3-4 bhajans a day on each bhajan. He was Tansen of Puttaparthi. He taught bhajans to S. Kumar. He taught bhajans to hundreds of students. Mata Maheshwari Tribhuvana Janani. So many bhajans are his compositions. So there he used to students, nobody was allowed to record original and then sell outside. He used to record standing near the Ganesha shed, closest to the speakers, and the external sounds used to be there. There was not a third venue to get cassettes in those days. What happened? One day, again Swami's will. We say we do. No, nothing. Everything is Swami's will. Speaking now is Swami's will. If the mouth shuts now, it is Swami's will. Swami willed, and he got befriended somehow in the canteen while having a coffee with one administration staff, Shirdishwaran. These are all milestone things, so nothing can be forgotten. That Shirdishwaran was graceful enough, compassionate enough to record several bhajans in cassette, sitting in the veranda. 4 or 5 cassettes he gave to him. This is talking about 88. Now, coming to from where to where we went. Okay, that is also Swami's Swami's discourse. I have also resolved that very soon I will be launching a massive program of 1980, revitalizing our ancient customs, our ancient treasures, our ancient traditions, and all scriptural truths about all people and in all lands. You need to have no doubt whatsoever that we will be successful. Victory is bound to be ours. We will surely experience the trumpet of victory. Do not give yourself to doubt or distress. Do not get hassled by doubts. We shall be very soon blowing the conch of victory all around, embodiments of love. What the future holds is beyond your sight. Why this discourse is being brought in? His will, which transpired into reality, and we are all witness to that in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years later. What the future holds is beyond your sight, beyond your understanding. But I can see what the future is going to be like. A time will come when the whole world will be at my feet. A time will come when the whole world will rejoice in having understood my true divinity. My true nature, my divinity, my true nature. It's a great effort that I am making thereby. At present, I am confining myself. I am not letting my glory spread all over. All of a sudden, because the world cannot possibly put up with it now. But certainly a day will come when the peoples of the world would recognize what Swami is, His Majesty, His grandeur. In Christmas, how many countries come? Minimum 160 countries people come. World will come at my feet. He told in 1980. You know what? 1980, 1981, when he used to visit, after the first darshan is over, Swami used to go for interview. That is the time you have to skip your coffee, you have to skip your tiffin. Everybody will be hungry, they will go to canteen. No Western canteen, nothing, South canteen. And strong devotees, they will say, we will not go out and eat. There were 2-3 restaurants outside. They will have only in South canteen. Okay, my mother and so many of them, they will have only. The Swami's canteen only you should have. So, Papi paid. They will go for coffee tiffin after darshan. I used to, as a little lad, I used to jump and go to the front seat and then sit sand. Okay. No mat, nothing, sand. If it is raining also, wet sand. If it is heat also, hot sand. Friend, and you believe me, what time he told that the world will be at my feet? When he used to come for outside after an interview, there will be some 25, 30 of us. Believe me, 25, 30 of us. Closest darshan. And he will be talking to some college principal, somebody who would have come with students and all. Vividly, that scene is before me. So, on that behest, he would will that we have half an hour of his darshan in what? Some 10 feet distance. At that time, he told, I know that world will come, but if I totally release myself, my glory, you will not be able to hold it. What happened to Gindi, Leelama's father? He wanted to hold Swami's feet. Swami told, you will not be able to contain your bliss. Don't come, don't come, don't come. He said, no, I will not open my eyes till the time I touch your feet. Swami ran, boy. Swami as a boy. Ran. But this, he would not, Lokanada Mudaliar, I think his name, if I'm not mistaken. He ran. Ultimately, he touched his feet, he died at that spot. Because that Ananda could not be contained. Swami told, you cannot contain your Ananda. And how many times we have held his feet. And still he has kept us alive to sing his glory. How beautiful, Swami. How beautiful. Continuing, the world will very soon become a big Prashanti Nilayam by itself. They will all come flocking in their lakhs and their millions. Even those who have the golden opportunity of sitting so close to me do not understand the truth now. Make the best of the opportunities that are coming your way. Listen to Swami's words. Live in his love. Experience his bliss, which is very much your own. Do not fritter away this golden opportunity, for you will not get this later. Same Mohan Rao Garu, who used to tell that, Are, we are coming from Chennai. Those times, you won't believe 60, 70 it used to take some 20, 25 hours to reach from Hyde or Chennai or some other place to this thing. 3, 4 modes of transport, and then wait in Chitravati for the river to subside. The otherwise tide to subside. Otherwise, you have to walk through, take a risk. And Swami will be waiting on the other side of the Chitravati, waiting for you. The same Mohan Rao used to say that this Swami never used to give us time for sleeping. When he used to land, he will talk, 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 talk for 2 hours, 3 hours. And we used to feel so sleepy. We used to say, when this Swami will go, when we can sleep. The same Mohan Rao told him that, Satya, now I sing before he departed. He said, I sing no doubt in the morning. I'm the only old singer uh, allowed due to his compassion to sing. All ladies are all gone. All other Swami students. I sing. I sing daily. I see him, but now it's about 3, 4 years that he has not had a word with me. Today, the opportunity which you get to be at his feet 24 hours and feel his proximity, tomorrow will you be alive? You don't. Tomorrow will your mind be steady and tuned to that? You don't. Tomorrow will his grace be on you to remember him? You don't. Today, today, today. And now for the most startling, most incredible experience few students had in divine presence. Most incredible, huh? Most incredible. Swami has many times said, whether during discourses or during private sessions with devotees, that his will is infinite. Swami takes many of his students into Kodaikanal with him. Likewise, he has taken some students to Mysore sanctuary once in their summer vacation. Devasen sir was lucky to be one of them. The students had already reached the sanctuary and it was night time. Swami was, hold your breath. Huh? You are in for something which will take some time to believe. Hold your breath and listen. Swami was discussing the secrets of nature with students assembled at his feet. He was talking about the start of creation from the primordial sound Omkar. All this has been dealt in creation session, which was given 2 times, 3 times. The emergence of the Milky Way, planets, etc. He was describing in detail as to how the clouds got formed and the emergence of the sun, the moon, etc. As Swami was explaining so, he suddenly looked around and said, Is it not the night beautiful today? Yes, Swami, replied the students. It is blissful here in your immediate presence. Even the moon seems to want to make his presence felt here in your physical proximity. As soon as this was mentioned, Swami looked upwards, the moon now coming from something impossible. Impossible is coming. Science minds, science graduates, engineers, and people, you have to believe this. All rationals have to believe this because students witness this. Their sins are witness this, and it is available in YouTube also if you search. He was kept looking for some time and then started explaining the different features of the moon, that there were so many craters on it. He even mentioned, here comes the impossible, there were rivers flowing on the moon. Rational minded people, hold your breath. As he said, the students started asking Swami, river on the moon? Yes, why not? Swami says, don't you know rivers existed on moon? But Swami, something of this sort has never been mentioned in any of the documentaries recorded by the astronauts who have visited the moon. Oh, that. How can they see? They saw with their physical eyes. Can their eyes see all that divinity has created? They did not see, but it is there. So saying, Swami stopped. As Swami stopped speaking, there was silence for a while, but the friction in the minds of the students persisted. Fully aware of this, Swami asked, would you all like to see all that I mentioned were present in the moon? Yes, Swami, replied the students. Swami immediately got up from his seat and pointed towards the moon and waved his hands. In a moment, the moon disappeared from the sky. Shocked at what they saw, the students wanted to ask Swami as to what happened to the moon. But before they could say anything, they saw a circular object appear in Swami's hands. Swami said, this is the moon. Now clear all your doubts about the feature of the moon. So saying, he started showing the craters and the rivers on the moon surface. As long as the moon was there in Swami's hand, there was no moon in the sky. When asked what would happen if anyone looked up and did not find the moon present as usual, or questioned about the disappearance of the moon, Swami said, nothing happens about without my will. As long as the moon, which I have reduced to a size enough to fit in my palms, as long as it is in my hand, no one in the world would dare to look up in the sky. I have willed that. Are you not getting goosebumps? There was a silence for a while as the students tried to grasp the phenomenon they had just witnessed. Swami then asked, has everyone seen it? Okay, come closer and see. Ask for doubts if any. All those present came closer and looked. They were all there, the craters, the rivers, the mountains, all in a miniature form of the moon in Swami's hand. Swami then said, okay, now I will send it back. So saying, Swami let go the moon from his hand by thrusting it upwards. In the moment, it was there in the sky, again resplendent as before. As students retired for the day, they reminded themselves of an important lesson they learned that day. Everything in this universe is functioning in full awareness of Swami as per his will. Brothers and sisters, a devotee undergoes pain and humiliation and breach of trust by a few whom he believed beyond doubt. A question came, why this is happening to me, Swami? Incidentally, the other day, he was listening to Vedanarayan's talk, in which he says, this all devotees have to mark these words of Veda teacher, Vedanarayan. When everything good happens to us, we never ask, why all good things are happening to me? But when something bad happens, something painful happens, we ask why this is happening. Why you are not asking Swami, Swami, why good things are happening to me? We never ask. When bad things happen, we are asking Swami. Both are happening by His will, right? Of course, with Swami's grace, the devotee comes out of all pain, effect of all humiliations, pain of few very closest to him breaching his trust. In 2 days' time, early morning, he opens the social media and sees two sayings. The first quote by Swami and the second quote by a renowned saint. First quote: whatever happens in your life is nothing but my wish. So sit back and do not question my will, for I always take care of you at the end. Now, what all can happen to us? Swami says, whatever happens in your life, the saint writes, the saint, nothing different. How can any expression come from even a realized master unless Swami wills it? A devotee alone gets what will happen, Swami's will. A devotee alone gets trouble and adversities because this is his last birth. Many karmas to be worked out, and he must be united with the Lord in this very birth. The two quotes could have appeared one, and after 10 quotes, the other. They appear in sequence on the same day. And then, after 2 days, another quote comes. Swami, do you think I would confront you with the pain if there was no reason for it? Open your heart to pain as you do now to pleasure, for it is my will, brought by me for your good. Welcome it as a challenge. Do not turn away from it. Do not listen to your mind, for the mind is but another word for the need or the want. The mind endangers want, manifested as the world because it needed it. It is my plan to drive you by the pangs of unfulfilled need to listen to my voice, which, when heard, dissolves the ego and the mind along with it. Dear all, mind arises due to our want. If there are no wants, there is no mind. And if there is no mind, there is no creation. How? If you have any want or desire propelled by your ragadvesha or vasanas, the mind starts working on those desires, and then pains are bound to come. In childhood, he saw Swami's quote, quoting to the old time alarms where a big needle will swing either way. Big wall clock in our parents' house. Swami writes, life is like a pendulum betwixt pleasure and pain. Pleasure, pain, pleasure, pain. Like a pendulum. Connecting these three quotes, T.V. Hariharan, who composed great bhajans like Arunachala Shiva, Jaya 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 He Madhusudana, Narayan Narayan Many bhajans he has composed. He was the first batch in Parthi college. He says, Sai devotees can never have any pain. Now our monkey mind. But sir, if it is my karma, even as per the karma sessions taught to all of you, the question is bound to come. As per my karma, I have to suffer. How can you say Sai being merely a Sai devotee, pains will not come to me? He answers that. He says, as a Sai devotee, if you are still feeling pain, that means you are not totally immersed in Swam. Karma will be there, sufferings will be there. Who else but you have to clear your past karmas? But the impact cannot be there if you are 24 by 7, not just lips saying for lips sake, really immersed in Swami. This is how Sai devotees can never have pain. Cutting short, today's satsang is on this subject. Nothing happens without Sai's will. In whatever happened to that devotee, Swami showed four wills. And these four wills are not only for the devotee, these four are for all of us, all Sai devotees, all bhaktas in this world. The fourth being the ultimate of the ultimate of the ultimate of the ultimate. First, he willed that the devotee should come out of an environment, toxic environment, a place where there is no love. Second, he willed that the devotee should realize that no one can be trusted. No one is with him. People can change anytime after 20, 30, 40 years. Third, he willed that the devotee should realize the Jesus words verbatim, that perhaps those who caused all the pain to him, perhaps they never realized that they are really causing pain to him. If they had realized, maybe deliberately they would not have done. So, this Sai's will, that Sai made him understand Jesus' words to the T, 100%. Oh Lord, please forgive them, for they do not know what they have done, what they are doing. At the time of crucifixion, Jesus says this. And this was made practically, the devotee was made to experience this. After all, maybe they would not realize. They may realize later or they may not realize. So, pardon them, love them. Now comes the fourth. Sai Bhaktas. That is why he wrote again and again that this can be a life-changing session. So far, you enjoyed all episodes of Swami's love. But this particular point, if he is challenging, he will write and give to you and keep it in cover and then see after 2 years. If this will is realized and if you live as per this will, through the path of bhakti, self-realization is assured signed, stamped, delivered 101%, not 100%. This is why he said, this is life changing session. Now be with me. These three are okay. You can relate to this. You would have also suffered humiliation, pain. You would have also pardoned, and you would have also realized that there is nobody except God. All these things you would have realized. Fantastic. Fourth will. Swami willed that his devotee, after realizing the above three will of Swami, gets immersed 24/7, uninterrupted, wholly, totally, with no break in Swami's thoughts. For this 24-hour immersing in Swami to happen, any challenge, any humiliation, any breach of trust, anything done by anybody in our whole life, it is worth it. S. Kumar, another ex-student, says, welcome insults. We already saw this in the humiliation to freedom talk. He says, welcome insults. Only insults can change us 360-degree. While recounting insults that Swami himself has apparently insulted, because to kill his ego as a singer. He says, Swami, he recounts shamelessly, he recounts each and every incident where Swami had said to the college principal, he should not be seen inside bhajan hall. Chuck him out. He should not sing here. So many insults, so many insults. And he says, welcome, because don't we remember that saint's words in that freedom to humiliation talk, where years of sadhana cannot make you evolve spiritually, but these humiliations can move on. And brothers and sisters, today's satsang will close the topic on humiliation. There will be no, because there is no more. They don't exist. Khatam. But it was important to emphasize what we can learn from that and what is Swami's will when he is giving us all these things. It was important to refer, otherwise there was no relevance of that anyway. This has to be experienced. One has to undergo tremendous pain, tremendous breach of trust, tremendous humiliation to ultimately end up being in Swami's thoughts from dawn to dusk. At this stage, the devotee does not want to even think for a minute about the miseries he went through. Even a moment coming down from Swami's thoughts may have the danger of taking the devotee to those miseries. Whereas being 24/7 in Swami's thoughts bestows uninterrupted bliss on him, on all of us. This has to be experienced to know the truth. Just imagine closing your eyes. If you were to be only in Swami's thought from morning 6 o'clock when you get up and brush your teeth, up to night when Nidra Devi embraces you and you get into sleep, From morning to night, you are only and only in Swami's thoughts, thinking of nothing else. And the impact of being with Swami is experienced in your inner state while you are engaged in various work at your workplace, family, society, etc. He taught you the famous Sarvadharma Bhajan once upon a time, in which the line is तन में साई मन में साई रोम रोम में साई साई. Here, the tan mein sai, man mein sai gets elaborated in practical terms. Facebook में साई, इंस्टा में साई, वॉलपेपर में साई, सुबह साई, शाम में साई, रात में साई, दफ्तर में साई, घर में साई, उठते बैठते जागते सोते साई 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 साई. Saying is easy. 24 hours being with Swami, you have to practically implement it. You just don't want to see anything except Sai. You just don't want to think anything except Sai. You don't want to talk anything except about Sai. So, thereby ruling out all the possibilities of any other thought coming to you at all. The devotee crazily erases, hides, erases all the posts in the FB, in the Insta except Sai. I don't want to see or hear or talk anything except Swami, 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 Swami. Sai, 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 Sai. मेरे गुरु, पूज्य गुरु नागराज, भजन लिखे और संगीत से सवारे, और मुझे जो कैसेट दिया उसमें वो गा के चले गए. कण कण में तेरा नाम हो साई, कण कण में तेरा नाम, कण कण में तेरा नाम हो साई, कण कण में तेरा नाम. ईश्वरा प्रियतनया साई नारायणा. भगवान का नाम ले और मेरे गुरु का नाम ना आए उसमें, ये कभी हो सकता है? इस दिल में उस गुरु और उस भगवान में कोई अंतर नहीं. जो कुछ मैं अपने प्रभु में देखता हूं, जो कुछ मैं अपने भगवान में महसूस करता हूं, मेरे गुरु में वही महसूस करता हूं. सत्य वचन. This is a stage where one cannot come out of the intoxication of Sai. Narada Bhakti Sutra, we are coming to the end. Narada Bhakti Sutra, post 6, Matto Bhavati. A devotee who has drunk the wine, it is literally this stage, 24 hours, it's a stage. You have drunk the wine of divine, cannot observe the conventional rules of propriety. He is not a slave of the conventional laws of society and scriptures. The God intoxicated devotee is not conscious of himself. Here, at least one of you, if you are listening to the talk, was too impressed or impacted by the Narada Bhakti Sutra, you would recall this particular post with sheer joy, where Babar calls Guru Nanak Dev Ji to his palace and offers him a drink, and Guru Nanak says, भांग तंबाकू चौतरा उतर जाए प्रभात नाम खुमारी नानक चढ़ी रहे दिन रात. The intoxication of all those liquor shall remain at best for a night and will leave only with a hangover next morning. The intoxication of Lord's name, Lord's love, chadi rahe din raat, grows more and more for Nanak, day and night. We have heard of Kunti Devi telling Krishna that give me pain, because only in pain I will ever be thinking of you. If you give me too much happiness, I may forget you. How many times we have heard, but then if it really comes to our life, and if we really appreciate this particular truth, then think now, as we are coming to the end, think. Swami willed that all the misery, all the pain, all the humiliation should happen to that devotee. Brought few people. Is there any relevance of those people now? Nothing. They were all instruments. However, they will carry their karmas for what they have done, unfortunately. They were brought as instruments to cause the devotee all this, only to ensure at the end that he is immersed in Sai 24/7, either in Swami without form, Nirvikalpa, or in the form, Savikalpa, either Nirakara or in Sakar. 24/7. The ears do not want to hear anything other than Sai. The eyes do not want to see anything other than Sai. The mouth does not want to say anything other than Sai, His glory, and His songs. Don't want anything else. Dear brothers and sisters, it is only that state you can say, chati thoke, we can say that a Sai devotee cannot have any pain. Pains are this for this body mind. Not Vedanta. In bhakti, it should be practically experienced. That if you are 24/7 in Swami's thoughts, singing his glory, thinking about him, then you are detached from the body mind, which is undergoing miseries due to the karma. Not 23.5/7 will not work. 24.5/7, 24.5/7. Only Swami, only Swami, only Swami, only Swami. Nothing else. And if you are able to, with all the Vedanta sessions given to all of you, if you are able to exist in that transcendental state beyond form, beyond name, beyond creation, beautiful. But that can exist only for a few minutes at best. Actually, few seconds, few minutes will be very great. But how about all other time when you are going out? It should be no more a theory that taking Swami as my friend, taking Swami as my companion. No, 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 no. 24 by 7 Swami, only Swami, only Swami. Except for the Excel numbers or except for the basic minimum things you have to see at your workplace or housewives, there is no need for that also, except for the basic numbers or basic things which you have to see for earning your bread. Other than that, don't see anything except Swam. Don't hear anything except Swam. Three monkeys. बुरा मत देखो, बुरा मत सोचो, बुरा मत सुनो. साई को देखो, साई को सुनो, साई को समझो, साई के साथ रहो. कण कण में तेरा नाम, तन में साई, मन में साई. He translated to all social media sai. Everywhere sai. You block the possibility of anything other than sai appearing in your thoughts. Not theory. One who has experienced and living in that plane is telling you, sharing you with you that transcendental state of only being in samadhi, nirakar or sakar. You can switch between either of them at your will. Both are same. Five minutes more. Sanjay Mahalingam, another student, PhD, gives a beautiful expression of what it is to live with Swami. He says, all past experiences, all stories of others, even experience we have had with Swami are all only memories, though they could be best memories. This may not be liked by many Sai devotees, but he is speaking the truth. He says all of them are only memories. But today is the most precious day when I feel most connected to Swami. And when tomorrow becomes today, that is, when I go to tomorrow, I will feel more connected to Swami than today. And then tomorrow will be the best day in my life. And tomorrow becomes today. The maturity of all experiences with Swami must culminate into an ever present connection with Swami. The subtlety of our connection with Swami now, no matter Swami has passed away, physical form has gone. The subtlety of our connection with Swami now, the intimacy of our connection with Swami right now, this moment, and like that, every moment. That is what is called as living in present. Every moment becomes the present moment. There is no past, there is no future. Today, now, this moment, I am connected to Sai. The time tickles to next minute. I am next minute, present minute. I am connected to Sai. Like that, 24 hours, I am connected to Sai. I sleep next day. Shayan Swapan me Sai Om. Hmm? Nayan Nayan me Sai Om. Janan Maran me Sai Om. Next day, 1 minute, 1 second, next second, 60 seconds, 1 minute. I am connected. Next minute, first to second, 60 seconds, I am connected. 24 hours, I am connected. Present, present. You will not even have the thought to think that Swami is not with you physically. No, you cannot have the physical darshan of Swami. You are ever connected to me, him, present, present. This moment. And every moment becomes that moment, precious moment. The subtlety of our connection with Swami now, the intimacy of our connection with Swami right now, this moment determines my real relationship, my real closeness with Swami, though he may not be present physically. This knowing of Swami, a line from Vedanta, only one line he has taken in the whole discourse today. This knowing of Swami is this particular knowing, 24 hours incessant and uninterrupted knowing of Swami and being with Swami is the ultimate knowing by the disciple in the Kenopanishad, where he says, yes, I think I have known now. And the master in the Kenopanishad says, yes, you know it now. Remembering few of you, the verses subsequent, where the master scolds and sends him, I fear you don't know. Then he comes back. I cannot say I don't know, but I think I know too. The Swami master says, yes, you know. This is the knowing, this is the being with Swami. 24 by 7, not 20. You don't have a permission to take 5 minutes off. That 5 minutes, your miseries, your pain, blah, 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 this, that, all these things will come to you. No need. When I have my Swami with you, nothing else is required. So, in the freedom, now, bye bye, tata, see you, to the word humiliation, to the word breach of trust. They are not there. They were not there anymore even before. But what he experienced, Yam Kunda Inbam, he wanted to share out of sheer love. That you can also, one of you, if you start practicing sincerely, 24 hours sai, nothing else, you can also fly high as a free bird as he is flying. He exists in samadhi while he is alone. When he sets out in the world of vasanas, he is with Sai, uninterrupted, with not even 1 minute break when Sai is not there with him, in essence, in fragrance. In fragrance. The flower may be somewhere there, but the fragrance comes to us. Sai physical form may not be there, but Sai comes to us and stays with us as fragrance. It has to be experienced. Otherwise, this will be a very superfluous expression. Sai's fragrance is experienced day and night. Sai wakes up with me in the morning. Sai goes with me in the daytime. Sai has food with me in morning, lunch, break, dinner. Sai stays with me when I am working. Sai is there with me when I am cooking. Sai is there with me, and Sai also sleeps when I go to sleep. Next day, Sai gets up. Ishwaramba Sutashriman Purva Sandhya Pravartate. So, there is no difference between me and him. We are together. We are buddies. We have merged together. For want of better expression, like he explained in the Bhajan Jagata Udharana, when Swami does everything, Papa Vimochana he does, Bhava Bhaya Bhanjana he does. And with that, when he comes after doing everything from moving us from disaster to deliverance, from in prison of our mind to freedom of joy, having done all these things, when Swami comes and asks, huh, where are you from? What is your name? He talked in that bhajan that Jai Sai Ram, Jai Sai Ram. I can't tell anything about other than Jai Sai Ram. I have no words. Jai Sai Ram, Jai Sai Ram, Jai Sai Ram. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. And thereafter, they lived happily, merged with each other forever, the Bhakta and the Bhagavan, with no difference between them. He usually sings, but he is not singing. He ends with this line, Inbam yeni engume tunbame illai, ini ingu நீ சாய் வேறு நான் வேறு இல்லை. Absolute merger. If this session's lesson cannot be absorbed and practiced and implemented and lived by a Sai devotee, perhaps it will be very difficult for a Sai devotee to practice any other sessions, even Vedantic session, any other session. These are words from a pure soul. Again, Jai Sai Ram.